Trail cameras are a great tool when you're hunting and monitoring your property. They let you see what's going on, see what kind of animals are coming, and help you pattern that target buck you're after this year. Cellular trail cameras are a little bit of a step up, an even better tool because they don't require you to actually go to the property and pull the cards. So you can keep your scent away and disturb the property even less in your hunting area. However, they come with their own problems every now and then. So let's take a look at a couple of the trail cameras that I use, talk about some of the goods, the bads, and maybe give you some ideas of how to fix some of the problems you might be having. Let's do it. I see a lot of people online asking about different types of trail cameras, what people are using, which ones are good, which ones are bad. So I just decided to make this video to show you what I personally am using. I've heard good things and bad things about both the cameras that I use, but I just want to show you each camera, give you a comparison between the two, tell you about my setup, and give you some of the things I've learned over the years of running these cameras to help them run smoother. So I use two cameras. I've got a Spypoint Link Micro that I use, and I also have the Bushnell Impulse. Both of these cameras to me have been pretty good. I wouldn't say they're both great. I wouldn't say they're both garbage. I've had issues with both of them. When you look at the two cameras comparatively, the Link Micro is much smaller, which I like. It's easier to conceal because everybody knows we do have problems with people stealing cameras. The Bushnell takes 12 batteries, whereas the Link Micro only takes 8. Both cameras are able to be hooked up to a outside 12-volt battery. I do use a battery like this one. It's a solar-powered battery. I use it occasionally with my cameras that I have far away from my house. I don't have to change the battery so often. This one that I found, I can't remember the price of it. I bought it off Amazon, and one's got a connector that I can hook into my Spypoints. I do not have any external batteries that I hook into my Bushnells. This works pretty good. It helps the camera last a lot longer. So if you've got it in a place where it's far from home and it's not convenient for you to change the batteries out, look into an external 12-volt power source. Let's talk about price. The Bushnell Impulse camera, when I bought them, they were about $300. Fortunately, I was able to get them through a place that had some discounts. So I got them a little bit cheaper, but they are between $275 and $300 each. Whereas the Spypoints right now, I think I just bought a 2-pack for about $140. So they're quite a bit cheaper than the Bushnells are. Also, one thing to keep in mind, the Bushnells have just been discontinued this year. They're not making them anymore. You can still find them on Amazon, and I believe they do have some on Bushnell, but they're not going to make them anymore. The Link Micro does take it has a door that opens up in the front. You can see the 8 batteries are in there. It takes a micro SD card in it, as opposed to the Bushnell. When you open it up, you look inside, the Bushnell takes a regular SD card. So there's slight differences between the two. One of the things I do like about the Bushnell is it will take videos as well as pictures. The Micro only takes pictures. Now let's talk about the apps. Both of these cameras are cellular cameras, and both these cameras have apps that come with them so you can get the pictures right to your phone. Both apps have goods and bads to them that I've noticed, but for the most part, they work the way they're supposed to. Camera takes a picture, sends it to the app, I get an alert on my watch or my phone, and I check out the picture. They both do that as advertised. Now there's little things I do like about different ones. The pictures all come up together on both of them, which is nice. You don't have to select the camera, but you can select an individual camera, look at the pictures. The Bushnell has a nice feature where you can locate the camera through a GPS, which works great for me because out here I had a camera stolen last year. I was able to track down where the camera was, find the guy that took it, and get my camera back. So that's a nice feature of the Bushnell. The apps work great. One of the other things I do like about the apps for the Bushnell is that you can set it to trigger on command. So if you want to take a picture right now and see what's going on, hit the button, it'll take a picture or video, and it'll transmit it back to your phone or your computer, And the Bushnell does not have a command, or, I'm sorry, the Spypoint does not have a command like that to be able to do it. Where this worked well was my hunting season last year in Pennsylvania. I had a beautiful monster buck coming. Unfortunately, he was coming a couple days before the season opened, and he was only coming at night, of course. So my camera would trigger and say I had a picture out there, but it may not have been a good picture because he was on his way in. So I would hit the button and take a picture, and I could get some better pictures or videos of that deer. So that's one of the nice features of the Bushnell. Both of these cameras, to me, are pretty good. They're worth the money. The Bushnell's a little bit more expensive, so it's kind of hard to justify that. But I'm running a combination of both. I think I have 8 Spypoints and 7 Bushnells, I believe. Both of them I run on AA batteries, and let's talk about that for a second. Usually the manufacturers will recommend you running a lithium battery. I've had luck with the Energizer Ultimate Lithiums. They seem to do better in the cold weather up here in the Northeast as opposed to a regular Duracell alkaline battery. One other thing to keep in mind, they also recommend do not use rechargeable batteries in these. And Duracells, I've had a lot of problems with Duracells leaking and corroding not only my cameras, flashlights, or anything else I've used them in. The Duracells always seem to leak, so I've got away from Duracells in the last few years. Each camera, when it comes, it will come with a strap that you can mount it to the tree. And one of the nice things that the Bushnell has is the Bushnell has a little leveling screw in the back that helps you adjust the level on the tree. What I have found is that I prefer something else. This is made by HME. It's a trail camera holder. I got them on Amazon for a few bucks a piece. I don't remember who makes this mount. Oh, it's a Reconyx mount. The Reconyx mount I bought on Amazon as well. Both of these mounts have the screw that will thread into either the bottom of the Spypoint or into the back of the Bushnell, and then you screw it to the tree. These mounts will help you adjust the camera in a lot more different ways than the strap. It will. You've probably done the same thing I have with the strap, is jam a stick behind it to get it to go the right angle you want it. Well, this alleviates that problem by having these mounts. So those are a couple of things that I do use. So between the mounts, the batteries, the external battery source, they seem to help. Some tips and tricks on helping your camera, avoiding some frustrations with these cameras. Number one, the biggest number one thing I can tell you to do with these cameras, whether it's brand new or it's used, is as soon as you get the camera or as soon as you're going to put it out for the season, go through the firmware update process. These manufacturers put out different variations of the firmware, and unfortunately a lot of times you'll turn the camera on, it works fine. You turn the camera off, you turn it on again, and now it won't work because there's a different firmware version and it's not very compatible. So before you're going to deploy these cameras in the woods, make sure that you update the firmware. It only takes a few seconds. The manufacturer's website will tell you exactly how to do it. In fact, Spypoint I know has a video to explain the whole thing. Bushnell I'm not quite so sure about, but it's easy. You get the file, you put it on the memory card, put the memory card into the camera, turn the camera on, boom, it updates. That's one important thing. Another important thing is always make sure you have good batteries, brand new batteries when you put them in there, because these cameras work much better on brand new batteries than they do on a lower charge. As you're putting them in the woods, what I like to do is I change my settings so they will transmit a picture immediately, and I put the delay at 1 minute. So that way when I'm setting the cameras up, I can check my phone and make sure that I'm actually getting the pictures while I'm there setting the camera up. The worst thing you can do is set a camera, turn it on, walk away, and now when you get home you find out that that camera's not working correctly, or it doesn't have a good signal, or it's not transmitting, or the battery's loose, or the memory card popped out. There's a whole bunch of different things that can happen. However, after I verify that this camera is working properly, I then go back in and I change the settings. What you will find with these cameras is the more often that you transmit pictures to your phone, the more it will burn the battery out of the camera. So I set my cameras to transmit once a day. I just picked I picked midnight, I believe, is what I have them set at. So every night at midnight, all my cameras transmit pictures, and in the morning when I get up, I can check my pictures and see what's happened for the last day out at my spots. Another thing that I can tell you is, depending upon where you're located, you may be able to bait or you may not be able to bait. Here in Connecticut, we can bait. So when I set a camera up in front of one of my feeders, I am going to get hundreds and hundreds of pictures of squirrels, raccoons, birds, all the things that I don't want to see. So keep that in mind when you're setting your camera up. If you have the delay set to take a picture every 10 seconds or every 30 seconds, it resets that trigger every minute, you're going to run through your batteries really fast. If I put a camera out in front of a one of my feeders, I usually will set the delay at about 4 minutes, and I will also put the trigger sensitivity to, I believe, medium, so it doesn't trigger over everything that, every little chipmunk that runs by. However, if you can't feed and you just have these cameras setting on a trail somewhere, you can definitely change the settings to allow the pictures to come through quicker or to take more pictures, because you're not going to get the traffic that you get when you set it over top of a bait pile. Which brings me to another point of picture transmission and getting the pictures. One of the things I do like about the Spypoints is Spypoint will give you 100 free pictures a month. So if you mount this if you buy this camera and mount it on a trail somewhere over no food, you will probably be able to do it for free. It's not going to cost you anything. Bushnell does not provide 100 free pictures a month. Now, as far as transmitting more than 100 pictures, both cameras cost about the same for about the same amount of pictures. If I remember correctly, the Spypoints are about $10 a month for unlimited pictures, and the Bushnells, I believe, are $11 or $12 a month for, I just set it up, but I can't remember, it's about 2,000 pictures. There's different plans, and what plan you choose is going to depend on your application with the camera. What I like to try and do is set my Bushnells in front of a feeder, so that way I can buy the plan and I'll have the plan running and I can get all the pictures I want. And I'll set my Spypoints on a trail somewhere away from the feeders so I can run them for free and just catch the animals that come down once or twice a day, get a couple pictures a day. So that's a couple of the good things about these cameras. I hope that this video gave you a little bit of information and insight into some of the goods and bads about these two particular cameras, and I hope that it helped you be a little bit more informed on what you want to do when you're setting your cameras up. Well, now that we've talked about that, it's my time to go out, set these cameras up, get them where I want them, start tracking some deer, and see what I've got running across the property. So thanks for watching. Do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. We've got some other videos that'll be coming out too. So thanks for your support in watching us. And as always, tight lines and short blood trails. See you soon.